What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Meditations. Appreciate y'all for coming by. Like this video if you will, subscribe to the page, and swat that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. May your contributions be brought back to you sevenfold. Condolences of the Creator. Appreciate you guys. So, it pains me to talk about this, alright? In my previous videos, I've been talking about things that are good to consider in uncertain times. I've been talking about a lot of other things as well, right? But I'm going to put it plainly to you in this one. Many of you say, actually none of you say this, but it's rhetorical. Iceman, why do we need the Second Amendment? Iceman, why do we need the boomsticks? Iceman, why do we need the lead launchers that hold plus 30 lead rounds? Why do we need all that? Yeah. Right here is Daddy's favorite one. My favorite boomstick as of right now. It changes a little bit. I put this nice Magpul stock on there. Yeah. See that? There's the tip right there. Yeah. I have this one alongside my bed to protect myself and my wives if anything happens. We also have the doggo sleeping in the room with us all. German Shepherd, 9 years old, female. Are you allowed to say female these days? I'm not going to call her anything else. Not her. But, yeah, that's what she is. Whatever. But you see what I'm saying? Just in case you got a little tap in the night or whatever. You never know who's going to come in there. There's been a few break-ins in my neighborhood. I mean, not much. It's pretty safe, relatively speaking. But you just never really know. You might have 4 or 5 guys armed and dangerous. You don't want to have a little single-shot thing ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You want to have enough lead rounds that meet the requirements of the scenario. And you probably miss a lot too. I mean, you're going to be sleepy. This probably isn't the best one to have, because them bullets or them lead things can go through walls, so you got to be careful. You might want to get hollow points. I think they won't go through walls as easily. They'll still go through walls, but they don't have as much penetration as the ones that are non-hollow points. So I should probably get some of those. So Iceboy will do that, all right? And maybe I'll even test them out and let you guys know what the results are. But the reason we need the lead launchers, not everybody needs them, just those who want them and who have a pretty clean criminal record and this and that. The reason that it should be available to those who are responsible enough to use them isn't to fight some government, even though that is something that could happen, I guess. Probably more likely a foreign invasion, right? They storm the freaking shores, an army of millions. But it's unlikely that would happen right now, because they say that the best way to destroy a nation is from within, right? There's that book called The Art of War. Ironically, it's from the Big Red Dragon country, who probably has the capability of making the largest army in the world right now at a moment's notice. But you see what I'm saying? The way that they destroy it is from within. So the rulers, powers, principalities that be, they have to take control of the media, academia, entertainment, and basically brainwash everybody. And they get you to hate your own nation and this and that. So that's how they destroy a strong, powerful nation, is they don't come from the outside. You know, why would they do that? That's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be hard. It might be even possible even. If you're talking about a strong nation, especially one like the United States, which is surrounded by oceans. So you could have like these guys, like how the Vikings did, show up in ships. I mean, it'd be a real pain in the ass. So no, and it's not the smart way to do it either. The smart way to do it is to just control their media and news and entertainment. If you Google it, you'll see that everything's owned by the same couple folks. I don't got my phone on me right now. Just Google it. It's shocking how it's widely available information. It'll just be some AI response that generates the algorithms of news and media. It'll say something like, yeah, all world media, this and that are owned, 99% of it is owned by the same 6 global corporations. All right. So these are all the same folks pulling the strings here, and it creates the illusion that there's competition and separate thought. But of course, we all hear them just say the same things. Like you can go online and look at all the different news outlets and just see how these people are saying like the same lines. You know what I mean? So the illusion is that it's different. It's different thought. It's different foundations of thought. But it's all the same bullshit. And even the supposed other side, like, you know how you could say, well, there's a bunch of woke media that sends that undertone message continually without ceasing, but it has like there's a few other ones that speak in the opposite way. But the crazy thing is that those ones, all the big ones anyway, they're owned by the same folks. So they call that controlled opposition. So you get all the people then on the other side watching the other news, right? And they, but the point that news is controlled. Like they'll mock the other side. They'll say, oh, they want to cut the boys' dicks off, this and that. They want to, they need tampons in the boys' bathrooms. And they make good points, right? But and they're like, oh yeah, they don't want to drill their own fucking oil, those idiots, and then they're afraid of, or they think that open borders, no, what a great idea. You know, no nation in the history of the fucking world thought that was a good idea to not deport the criminals and the ones who invaded and came in illegally. But now that's the case. So, you know, they'll mock them and all that. And of course, the other side does all their mockery as well. Like, oh, racism, sexism, uneducated, this, that, and the third. But the thing is, my point is, both sides, in general, by those are controlled by the same entities, you know, like the parent companies or whatever. It's crazy. These people are fueling, just like how they call it the military industrial complex, where you look throughout history and there's these folks, these certain families who dominated like the oil and the weaponry and the tanks, the manufacturing of goods, and they'll supply and fund both sides of the wars. It's crazy. And they're not just doing it for money. You know, money's just a tool. The money's fake. You know, the money's been debased in the 70s or something. Who's that asshole who got it off the gold standard? Nixon or Carter? I can't remember who it was. It was one of these guys. They took the US dollar off the gold standard, and then they could inflate the hell out of it, print the shit out of it, sell it all off to private banks who they own. And it's all intertwined then, where they can manipulate the currency, manipulate the economy, and on a global scale even. And then they can do what they will with it and just keep inflating it and printing more and more and more. You know, so they control the money then. The money, it's not really money. It's fiat currency, not even paper anymore. It's just digital numbers on a screen that have no end. They just want Federal Reserve is like $35 trillion in debt with the knowledge that they give us. You see what I'm saying? So that all being said, it's all like, it's controlled opposition, but I mean, they're stirring up the hate, and then you get them, they hate each other within, you know what I mean? When you get your people to hate their country, to hate their nation, to say it's racism, sexism, this and that. I mean, everybody still wants to come here. How many billions of folks come in here? They wiggle around through the damn border every month or something, or hundreds of thousands. every month. It's crazy. But you see what I'm saying? Even if it were like thousands, it doesn't matter. It's just there's a big number we're trying to get in here. Obviously, it's not that race some, sex some. I mean, everybody wants to fucking come here. But you trick everybody into thinking that to the point where they want to mandate shit on the other side. You know, they want to lock them in jail. I mean, they want to execute them, basically. I mean, then you got the other side hating them, you know, because they're like, oh, these folks, they hate their country, this and that. They're brainwashing the children. They're trying to cut all their wee-wees off, trying to teach them, oh, you can be whatever you want. Oh, yeah, you can. That. What a good civilization that's going to set the standards for, huh? When you don't teach them like math and other shit, you just teach them affirmation stuff, you know? Yeah, what a nice future that's setting up for everybody. What the fuck is going on here? And but you see what I'm saying is you get they both just they hate each other with fiery passion. It's unfucking believable, and families divided beyond measure. It's just crazy. I mean, some say that this shit is prophesied in the Bible. Well, I mean, it is, but they'll say that it's true and all that, and they'll say, oh yeah, it says family against family, da da da. Boy against mother, boy against this, that, and the third, daughter against this, that, and the third. You know, that they all hate each other. The war is within. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Point being, I mean, we saw what happened. Say they shut down everything, right? With the sniffles or whatever. And they call it something else or whatever. Or maybe it's some shit made in the lab. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it's some real dangerous thing. And they shut everything down. They interrupt the supply lines and this and that. And people just begin to act crazy and primal. It doesn't take much. They say that where everybody is 3 meals away from chaos. And that very well could be true. But when you interfere with the supply lines, I mean, you see, there's videos of these people fighting over toilet paper. Like, what the fuck? They're wiping their ass with paper? Are you fucking kidding me? These fucking barbarians. But you see what I'm saying? If they can't wipe that shit off, they're going to fight over it. And I mean, just that sets the precedent, right? Is that how you say that term? It sets the precedence or something of what's to come, of what to expect. Like these people fight over toilet paper. I mean, get a bidet, you fucking barbarian. You see what I'm saying? Just scraping that shit against your ass isn't cleaning anything. But it's fuel for the course here, proving my point of what we're dealing with in general. And you got folks on both sides of this whole thing who are fighting over toilet paper. See, these are barbarians that we're working against here or with here. We're trying to work with here. And if shit gets interrupted, no pun intended, actually, believe it or not, but if shit gets interrupted, and beyond that, we saw what happened when the media, like if say that one guy does something fucked up, right? And to another guy. And then they say, oh, look at all the racism, this and that. And people don't even look at the fucking crime statistics or anything, because that's racism too, right? Looking at the crime statistics. It's racism looking at the FBI barrel. How do you say that? The Bureau of Data or some shit. Like you can research all this stuff. You know, you can see the crimes committed, all the demographics, all the shit involved with that. And you can start doing the math. But math is racism too. But nonetheless, they've come to the point where if one guy does one thing to another guy, whether or not it's just or not, it doesn't matter. They can ensue a sort of they can ensue like a freaking battle on your grounds, right? Like you get these folks going out and burning down billions and billions of dollars of private property, busting out windows, stealing shit, ripping people out, kicking the shit out of them. Private property. You know, and this happens even when the food lines are okay. You know, what if you mix these two things together? Like we've seen these things happen already in just the past decade. It's crazy. You know, you'd be oblivious and ignorant and dumb to think that, oh, there's no way that like the chains would be interrupted and they'd showcase something that one guy did to one other guy on the media and piss, half the freaking population off or whatever. It's a small percentage, but, they'll band together, and these string workers will fund it as well. They'll fund the buses, they'll fund the little organized events, they'll fund the little Facebook things, they'll get everybody together and they'll rile them up. And then you got somebody who will say, who even would run for president, who didn't get any electoral votes, but nonetheless she'll run for president, and she'll say, yeah, they should keep fighting, they should keep doing what they're doing, they should keep rioting, while at the same time saying, let's defund the police. You see what I'm saying? So if you encourage them to keep burning down billions and billions of dollars of private property, while at the same time saying, we're going to take your way and your means of defending yourself, or we're going to work against it, that makes for a really interesting situation, doesn't it? Because these fuckers could break into your house, steal your shit, rape your wives, pluck your fucking eyeballs out, eat you when you're alive, just all sorts of things. I mean, that's why we need the boomsticks that can have a lot of lead that they can launch, because you never know who's going to be brainwashed to come break into your fucking house and feel justly over it for various reasons. They'll just say, oh, they're from this community, so they're part of the problem here. They're the embodiment of the problem here. See, they've been brainwashed to believe in all this shit. And these folks come in all different walks of life and everything else. It's quite there's quite a variety. So, I mean, they could look just like you. They'll be burning down the fucking cities. They'll put on their little masks. They'll have their little flags. They'll do all this shit. Because that's just the power of these entities that are controlling everything. So you see what I'm saying? That's why it's important to have the boomsticks, the Second Amendment. It's because they're going to keep stirring shit up, and we've already observed it. We've observed billions of dollars of private property being destroyed. We've observed these public figures who are trying to run for president saying they should keep rioting, don't call in the National Guard to stop them from burning down private property. And we should also consider taking away the law-abiding citizens' means of defending themselves. So you got to have a way to do it against a lot of intruders. That's the problem. That's why just a little lever action thing. Lever action is okay, but a single shot or whatever, it's not going to do the trick here. Especially if shit gets really short. If there's soup lines and all that. You can bet your ass, you can bet your toads that they're going to be rallying up, and they'll form gangs and stuff, of every type, of every kind, or whatever you want to call it. There'll be gangs and everything else. I mean, it'll be utter freaking chaos. And so it's not to say that we're going to reach that state, but just anything from where we're at now to there is reasonable enough to justify the notion that I am interested in having a means of protecting myself and my wives and my dog just in case. You see what I'm saying? So you hang out in your house, you have food storage, you have water storage, you don't go to little soup lines, this and that, and you just protect yourself if you need to. That's basically the essence of this. And you got to look up your laws. I'm in Michigan, and they have what's called a castle law or some shit. I need to look this up. I'm going to look it up after this video, so don't take my word for it. But look up the laws of self-protection and what can you do if an intruder breaks into your house uninvited. You know what I mean? In some states, to my understanding, you're allowed to do what's necessary if they come into your fucking house. And that's pretty much the point here. They could come in through the goddamn windows, come in through the roof, come in through the doors. I got flimsy ass doors, not gonna lie. I could kick that fucking thing down, and someone smaller than me could too. But you see what I'm saying? That's why it's important. It's for the zombies. All right. That's why we need them boomsticks. It's for the zombies. And those barbarians who are fighting over the fucking toilet paper to scrape the shit off their ass. And again, that doesn't clean it. It just scrapes some shit off. So, I mean, you guys, get yourself a fucking bidet or get yourself a shower head that unhooks, you can you can come up with your own solution. But that's what you got to do. All right. So I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace be with you. Let me know your thoughts on this stuff.